Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Bomberman 93 for the TurboGrafx 16 and PC Engine. We are now on planet Icicle, the 6th world of the game, where we should be finding that last power chip so we can power up the Bomberman city, wherever it is we came from again, and the boss for this planet is Grumpus. His jumping will trigger bomb blasts, meaning he can actually make your bombs explode unlike the other bosses. Time for F1. See that guy who looks like he's clapping his hands? He takes one hit to kill, and there are two varieties of them. There's a gray variety and there's a blue variety. The gray variety cannot go through the destructible objects, but the blue ones can. They don't move very fast, but they can still be a threat if you're not careful. You also have that yellow guy up there in the lower right hand corner, well, originally in the lower right hand corner. He goes very fast, he is very likely to take corners, and he can come after you, so you definitely want to be careful when you take him on. You also have these red Eskimos. If you are basically near them and they can see you, they will dive towards you. The dive is rather short range, but it can still catch you off guard if you're not careful. And of course you have those blue onion-shaped creatures which just move pretty slowly, don't really do much. They take one hit to kill. Pretty much every enemy you see in F1 will take one hit to kill. Already found the exit, so you might as well go ahead and get the power-up, which now lets us drop yet another F-bomb. And we can go straight to the exit. F2. Never mind the Bombermen with the snow shovels, they're just there for decoration. We got that blue guy. He came back from the last roll, but he doesn't have that little hairdo that he had last time. He tends to move back and forth and he's pretty fast, but he shouldn't give you that much trouble. You also have a new hazard in the form of these conveyor belts. There are two ways to figure out which direction they go. Either you can follow one of the colors. There are 4 shades of green there. I usually follow the darkest one and see where that color goes. Or you can just get on it and you'll just figure it out automatically. Some of the yellow guys will be encased in ice. You have to break the ice block with an explosion first in order to free the guy, then you have to hit him again just to kill him. It's not much of a hassle, but it can make life a little bit more difficult, especially if you weren't planning on freeing him from this icy prison anyway. Also, the rotating ball blocks come back. So we got a returning hazard from World E showing up as well. And of course the teleporters are now pink. Those little pink vortex-like things happen to be the teleporters for this world. Time for F3, where we enter our first vertical section of the world. Might as well go ahead and get rid of this guy if we can. New enemy there, the Yetis. These guys are fairly fast, they will come for you, and they will go through destructible objects. So you want to be pretty careful if you see them. Another new enemy there is that green penguin. They take 2 hits to kill, but there's a twist. When you hit them with an explosion, they jump up and fly for a little while. You want to hit them with another explosion when they come down. When they come down, they will stand in place for a few seconds, and that's your cue to hit them with everything you have, which should be just one bomb. But anyway, we've already taken care of all the enemies. There's the line bomb in case you need it. You don't really seem to find that ability very much through the game. And all we need to do now is find the exit, because we didn't find it easily last time. Well, this time, last time we found it very easily, this time we didn't. and it's just a matter of blowing up stuff until we can find it. Sometimes you will find exits where the conveyor belts are, so if there are any blocks blocking conveyor belts, be sure to check those too, because they can show up right there. Shouldn't take us too long to find the exit now. And there it is, right there on the conveyor belt, like I kind of expected it to be. Now it's time for F4. The wheel is back. Yes, that wheel enemy that showed up in an earlier world are back, and I'm going to accidentally blow up the exit thing again because, well, I didn't expect it to be there. And there's a new enemy that we would have usually met later on, but we met it here because I blew up the exit tile. It's this huge ice crystal-like enemy, and much like those jellyfish from the last world, they can shoot projectiles if they see you, so you definitely want to be careful. Also, don't forget that the wheels will take 2 hits to kill, just like last time. And because I hit the exit tile a second time, that means I have to deal with even more enemies. Sometimes the exit tile will be in a place where you kind of want it to be, sometimes it's kind of where you don't want it to be. You just have to pay attention, be careful where you bomb, and when you do see the exit tile or the power-up, be sure to watch where you're bombing as well. Oh, we already have a ice crystal enemy here, so they do make their debut here after all. The power-up I picked up here was some sort of cleat or an ice sandal or something. Believe it or not, the Planet Icicle World F does not have ice physics. You don't slide around when you let go of any direction on the control pad, so I'm guessing it's just there for a small amount of points, rather? Not sure, but I'm pretty sure it may have had some sort of function. Maybe it does, and I just can't figure out what it is. Next up is F5, and we are in another horizontal section. It should be noted that the static indestructible walls aren't set up in this very linear fashion anymore. It's not like there's all these cross sections where you can move around like in earlier worlds. Instead, it's a lot more maze-like here. And I kind of like the fact that they went for that in this world. It does lead to a little more variety near the end of the game. Yes, I said near the end of the game. We still have one more world to take on. Don't forget, we have the Black Bomberman who showed up at the very beginning of the game to deal with. We still have him to contend with. And there's the exit. We just need to kill off the rest of the enemies, maybe find a power-up along the way. That would be great. I kind of find myself not using the rotating balls as much. I don't know, it's already easy to get around. It's kind of really easy to just find your way through World F stages. As you go through the world. And we just have 2 more enemies to go. Might as well go ahead and take advantage of my kick ability, and we should be able to get this dealt with. Not what I was looking for, it wasn't flashing, but I still got a power-up anyway. In case you need to increase your speed, in case you died at any point, or prior to this point, you can go ahead and increase your speed here. F6. The wheel is back. And I definitely want to get that wheel taken care of immediately. And thankfully I'm able to do just that. At this point, there's not much else that this world throws at you, so once you make it to like F6, F7, you've pretty much seen all that there is to see. And I should never have kicked that bomb right there because that was where the exit tile was. Much to my chagrin. And I nearly got hit by a projectile shot out by that ice crystal enemy. So I had to do some daft maneuvering in order to get through this part. I could have kicked the bomb up there where the conveyor belt started, but I didn't want to risk being hit with a projectile or anything. So I just kind of put a bomb in that little corner right there. And here's to hoping I don't hit that exit tile again, which thankfully I don't. And we found two things at one time. We got the vest that protects us from bomb blast, not from enemies. And we have another extra life, which is always cool. I like the little special sound effects that you get when you either pause the game, unpause the game, or when you get an extra life. Just the three best sounds in this game, in my particular opinion. And when the flashing slows down after you've picked up the vest, that means that the vest is about to stop working. So that's your cue to not go completely pyromaniac and destroy everything as quickly as possible. Also, I briefly forget that I actually picked up the power-ups for this area, so now it's time to head on to stage F7. At this point, we're pretty much putting everything together. And I've been taking care of a lot of enemies right away. Good thing I got rid of the two Yetis and that wheel. I really didn't want to deal with either of them for a long period of time. And there is the exit tile already, so again, I gotta be careful. And I tried to blow up that penguin up there, kind of where the upper right hand corner is. Almost blew up that power up too. That would have also summoned some enemies if I did that. And I realized I would have had to have been a little more clever in order to get that penguin however I could, because I didn't want to blow up the exit tile again, and he kept moving away from my bombs every single time. Like so. And he wormed his way into there. Don't know why he did, but he did. And I couldn't go through where the balls were because the direction on the block that the balls surround would not let me. So I kind of had to rethink this a little bit. Thankfully, I could just place a bomb there and finally get them where I wanted them. And then I unintentionally got this guy trapped, but it's a matter of being able to plant a bomb there and get him just like that. And we should be done with the majority of all of the nastier enemies in F7. Shouldn't have too much left to go. Kinda had to lure that yellow guy towards me, but that's okay. And of course that guy took a corner, which made it a little easier for me to take care of the little ice crystal guy. And he dove right towards me, so I pretty much had him right where I wanted him. No more power-ups to pick up here, so it is time to head on to the World F-Boss, where we face Grumpus. Now Grumpus flies around on the UFO. That little red spot there is the weak point. You just kind of have to keep moving. When he starts standing in one spot like that, that's your cue to just move away from him. He'll eventually stop somewhere, and when he stops, so does the little red dot on his little UFO-like platform. You have to hit that red spot with the explosion from one of your bombs. And after about 3 or 4 hits, he summons his own little mini Yetis. Now, thankfully, the little mini Yetis take 2 hits to kill, but they are not as smart as the crabs from when you were fighting the Cockle twins in the last world. These guys do go back and forth fairly often. They don't come straight for you. It's just a matter of staying away from them. In case you can't get the Grumpus, go ahead and take them on instead. Try to clear out a little bit of the board. If you have a heart with you to take an extra hit with, that works too. And as long as Grumpus is moving, he can't hurt you, which is good to keep in mind. I tried to turn the corner there, but unfortunately the little mini Yeti, snowman-like enemy got to me and made me use my heart when I didn't want to. And of course I had to kind of stay in the corner there because I didn't want to risk running into one of the mini snowmen a second time. And there can be as many as 6 of them on the screen at one time, I believe. I kind of count 5, maybe there can be 6, I'm not quite sure. But it can get pretty crowded. In this little arena where you fight Grumpus, so just pay attention to what's going on across the arena and just be careful. When you get Grumpus's little UFO to turn yellow, you have just 1 more hit. Thankfully, I was able to get it. So now we've beaten the 6th boss, we've gotten the 6th power chip. Now it's time to go after the Black Bomberman. Next time on Bomberman 93, the finale. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!